one day you can brag. I say that I have it, you know that I got it. No need to look all in the bag. Stunting like this cause I work so hard. I'm the best, I only speak facts. In the store, I'm popping them tags. A limited ceiling with stag. Clout chasing for the cash grab. I don't really want it that bad. If I say that I have it, you know that I got it. No need to look all in the bag. Stunting like this cause I work so hard. I'm the best, I only speak facts.
So what's good, y'all? This is the LoveNThangz podcast where we discuss scenarios about love and things, life, and other things. We would love to know how you would handle these stories and situations and scenarios. Right now, I'm chilling here with Jazz and Joe, and I'm Ty. So I wanted to jump into this story today because this story, it hits life. And you know how life be life, and we all know how life be life. We all have come across these scenarios where times is just times, and we got to get through it. So I want to say, don't feel alone, but let's get into this story. I hope you guys are ready. This, for once, this isn't a love story. This is a life story. So here we go.
Okay.
I'm a 23-year-old female and I'm mad. I can't get ahead no matter how hard I try. I grew up in foster care. I'm working 2 part-time jobs. I rent an apartment in the worst neighborhood. I live with my boyfriend. We pay $1,500 for a living room, bedroom, a small kitchen, and a bathroom. We are behind by a month constantly for rent. I just found out I'm pregnant to add to the problems. What do I do when I can barely make it now? Don't get me wrong, I'm happy to be pregnant, but I just don't know how to get through this situation if I can't even afford anything but bills.
Hmm.
Oh wow.
What should I do? What should I do?
Well,
So,
how far along is this girl? Should I say how far along is she? I'm not, condoning those type of, but baby, you got no, because it only gets worse. It
Yeah,
only gets worse.
yeah. Sad to say, that's not a situation that's going to improve with bringing a child into it.
It's
I
gonna
mean, down the
yeah,
line, yeah, sure, you might,
right.
come up and get things going, but
But it's
for right
right.
now, yeah.
Mm-mm.
And that's what and I hate, I don't like to blame shame, but at the end of the day, you know your situation and your limits. You and your boyfriend should have been taking
They got
precautions,
to do better.
knowing that you are not in a situation to bring a child into the world. But with that being said, when when you see like these 20 somethings and she's 23 years old, live with a boyfriend, they got an apartment, she got to work 2 or 3 jobs, they have to sit down at a certain point together and say, okay, what are we trying to do in life? She need to
Right.
ask him, what is your career goal? Where are you trying to get? Because we're not just trying to have jobs and live. What are you trying to do? And that's a question they both need to ask themselves. You know, I deal with a bunch of like young 20 somethings every day, in security. I mean, these are a bunch of kids who this is like their first real job. And I'm asking them, all right, this is great now for a 23-year-old work security making 18, 19 bucks. That's great. But what's your plan 10 years from now? I don't know. I mean, I'll get a few raises. I can do this. I can just keep doing. But why would you want to? And don't get me wrong, I don't knock anybody's hustle if it's an honest hustle.
yeah.
But you got this opportunity at 20 something, like to be literally whatever you want to be and do whatever you want to do. So that would be my thing to this young lady is like, have you had that conversation with them?
Right.
Have you had that conversation with yourself?
Right. Yeah. I do want to say I commend her a little bit because, I remember being 23 and not knowing life's paths and things like that. I had my son, I think when I was 24 years old, just a year, and I was married for 2 years already at that point. So I got started early, but that was the goal when we were younger, growing up in our era. I say era. When we were growing up
And
in
put
our
us in the
era,
era.
in the 70s and
Yeah.
80s, we were raised to like get married, have kids. That was my mother's thing.
Yeah.
Get married, have kids, move out my
Mhm.
house. You no longer me and your father's responsibility. Y'all gotta go figure it out. Good luck to the both of y'all. And sayonara. We were out the house. We lived in a house. We were fortunate enough to live in a house. We both were early
Yeah.
on in our careers. I was working at an insurance company doing accounting work. He was working as a contractor doing, construction work. We had a vision. We had a plan. It's not too late for you. You can still have a vision
It's
and have a
not.
plan.
Absolutely.
Build your
Absolutely.
career, decide what you want to do, and go from there, and then take the necessary path you need. That's why my heart goes out to you because I remember being that green and young and trying to figure out
Exactly.
what do I do?
Same,
I'm too
same,
young.
same.
I'm too young. I'm
Right.
too young. How do I deal with this? But I do understand true too. The inflation today takes a toll. You living in a one bedroom,
Ah,
a kitchen, a bathroom, and it doesn't sound like y'all got much space, but it's $1,500, and that's the part that breaks you. But you got to look for different programs where they will accommodate you and your income.
Right.
So they have
Right,
Fund your
services
right,
resources.
that
right.
will accommodate you and your situation. Even if you're with the kid's father or not, you do just have to see what's the best path for you, and make sure you pursue that path. You know exactly what your goal is. Write it down. Get a blank
Sure.
sheet of paper and just get to writing on what you see your next steps are. Do a sample pen and make sure you
Vision boards are
realistic.
real.
Make it realistic. So you do step one and then put what your step one is. Give yourself a week to month to year plan, and then make sure that
Yeah,
it's realistic to what you really can actually execute. I've done that. I'll never forget when we first got our first house, I wrote down everything I wanted in the house. And then every paycheck, I would be like, check off these 2 boxes, at least
right,
on
right.
top of the bills that we have. Because you can't get everything overnight. That's
No,
unrealistic. You can't make
absolutely.
Right.
everything
Yeah.
happen
It takes
overnight.
time.
And I know that's what we want. I always know that's what we want. I swear, our people, we like, I'm gonna buy everything my
Mhm.
first paycheck. Don't do that to yourself. You're just gonna put yourself
Right.
back months and months.
Extreme. Yeah,
Back
too
in
much.
debt.
Maybe
Yeah.
that's what you did the first time that y'all always constantly behind them month. That's probably what
No,
happened.
I'm about
But
to
get
say
ahead
that.
of it. Get ahead of it. You got to find a way to get ahead of it.
Hmm.
Whatever you have as your income, make sure you set aside just a little bit for savings for that rainy day, because you just never know what can happen. But I do want to say
Sure.
I understand it. You're not alone in that journey. We have a
Mm-mm.
lot of people that's in their 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s, etc., that's still dealing with that same question mark. How do you still continue to get by? The
You know
world is,
what?
the world is changing, so you just got no choice but to roll up your sleeves
Figure it out.
and punch
I
through
wish
it.
I
Yeah.
knew because she said she working 2 jobs. What is he doing? And y'all always behind on rent. She never said, well, because why does it take you to have 2 jobs? How many jobs he got? Do
Mhm.
he have two? If you got two, he should have three.
He should have two as well. No, absolutely. I agree
Right.
100%.
So my thing is, what is he doing? Are you
Yep.
behind? Are y'all behind because you're struggling to pay by yourself? And he like, I'm trying to. I'm in the studio. I'm trying to make this music, or I'm
Yeah.
trying to start this
Oh.
business up. Just work with me. It's a particular movie where the woman with this man through everything, and he had
Mhm.
no money. He had nothing. He had nothing, and she financed. She bought him a car. She made sure he was straight. And I'm talking about this man. When I say ran through all of her money, he put her in the hole. Not even to spend her money, he put even deeper debt. He made then she messed up he messed up wiring up of her mother's house. I to the whole movie, blah blah, whatever the case was. He ran his woman raggedy until there was nothing left.
Oh wow.
And then you see,
Yeah.
you said before, so I'll let you watch it yourself. But
Yeah. I gotta
he was
watch that.
working and working and working. It's like I'm doing this. I'm trying to do this. Just work with me. You ain't had man. They have a job or nothing. Like and then look what happened in the end. It was like, what do you do? My thing is, I was a very young mother. I had a baby at 18, and I want to be positive, but you have to be real too.
Hmm.
It's gonna get way worse before it gets better
Before it gets better. Yep.
because you got to worry about your health now because you're having a baby. You're pregnant, and then sometimes your hormones be out of control. Where I don't know, you don't know who you may be 1 minute from the next. But then also, can he even handle you or your mood swings or anything? It's gonna be
Right.
there. So
Right.
if he's
Right.
to go right now, you're gonna be. I won't say stuck, but he based on term is you're gonna be stuck with a baby. Who's gonna help? You have no
Mhm.
help, so it's gonna get worse, way worse before it gets better. And eventually, you have to figure things out, and then you have to try to go back to school or work on something better. But she has hustler in her. She has go getter in her because she has 2 jobs to pay the rent. When you have
Yep.
a baby,
Yes.
it puts so
And that's
much
the
fire up
plus.
under you, right? When it
Yeah.
puts so much fire up under you, like nah, I can't depend on this man to do nothing. I was raised that way too. You want to be up and go, all right? Guess what? I'm good. I got a
Yep.
job. I made sure everything was good because if at any point you like you want to leave, you want to go, we good.
Yep.
And I
Yeah.
had to do that. And I told them I had more kids after that. They got way worse. So it's gonna get way worse before it gets better. But
Before it gets
it's
any
gonna
better.
take time.
Yeah.
And they say is have some motion. Slow
Mhm.
motion better than no motion.
Yep.
So
Mhm.
that's what's gonna have to be.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's what's gonna have to be.
I do also want to say that, I think you fare a whole lot better than a lot of young children, young kids out here today, 23 years old, you got 2 jobs, you have an apartment, so you have a roof over your head. You're not, displaced or homeless. So that's a definite plus. You're happy to be pregnant, and I can understand that you're happy to be pregnant because you're starting your own family. You grew up in foster care. So when you're a child of foster care, you probably to get something of your own and to have something
Yeah.
Create
that
your own.
belongs to
Yeah.
you and
Yeah.
start your own family. That's a huge stride. So I understand why you're happy that you're pregnant, but you also just want to stop and say, make sure you go to your doctor's appointments, make sure that everything's okay. If it is okay, then you make sure you take your prenatal vitamins and proceed with your journey. But just keep your head up and just keep pushing on. I think of Brenda Got a Baby. Don't end up in that situation and
Yeah.
scenario where you go for
Uh,
the worst in case, possible. There's ways to get through this where it be positive, and there's ways to get through it where it could be very negative. And you just want to just try to
uh,
keep the positive perspective, seek out the help that you can in the programs that will afford you, the opportunity to get the things that you need for you and your baby. And then I hope that guy is there for you, because it does sound like you guys are living together. So hopefully he's going through the thick of it and have a job, just like, Jazz said. Maybe he's working and he just can't, make his way up, because $1,500 with two part-time jobs can't be how you make your income. It got to be more to it than just two part-time jobs. I'm hoping he's
that's what I'm
contributing to
saying.
that as well. I hope he's contributing to it as well. He got to be. But hearing this, I'm just like, wow. So you have some steps ahead of you. You'll get through it. You just got to keep a positive mindset and just put on some positive music and grind. You know what I mean? Just
It's
grind.
going.
'Cause
Let me tell you
that's life.
something.
Yeah.
That's life for
It's
everybody right
no
now.
more.
That's life for everybody.
It's no harder grind than a mother, but a
Yeah.
single
Oh,
mother. Because
absolutely.
you don't know if this man get up and leave, but if he does,
Mm.
and you're in a foster care system, you don't have no support system. Like, are your foster parents or your adopted parent, or you ever adopted, or is anybody around you have any friends helping with that baby? Because let me tell you something, it's gonna get so hard. Like, I can't even tell her how hard it's gonna get. I could go on and on to how hard it's gonna get. But if again, you better make preparations. Always prepare for this man to be like, sayonara, bye, see you later.
Yeah.
Because you just never know. Because again, some people get scared when if you mention a baby.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They be
Mhm.
like, let me with you. Sometimes they be like, oh dang, I really, and they'd be like, oh well, they blame her and say they're like, oh well, we was a birth control baby. We did this together. We both knew what it was. We've been around here playing, and it's what happens.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to eat this. You have to eat it too. But sometimes like, you can eat that by yourself. I'm out. So you gotta prepare for that
Mhm.
too. Like, nah, it's gonna. Oh my God.
I
Yeah.
know. I know.
So I just want to tell her, prepare for the best and prepare for the worst. That's what
Yeah.
it sounds like our advice is for. Because I'm like, it's good. She got a heavy road ahead of her, but
Girl,
she'll get through it. She can get through it. I do
you
know that for
can.
a fact, because we all survived it. We all
Yeah.
had a
Uh,
certain point, right? I was
child.
dumb and young. I had no clue, but I got to tell you, there's programs out there. Those programs will help see you through it, especially for milk and formula and Pampers,
Right.
Salvation Army. There's
It's
so
gonna
many
be
different
hard,
things
though.
you
Yeah.
can go to and
Use
seek
your
help.
resources. Find out what
Yeah,
resources you
use your
have.
resources. Absolutely. Especially for your area. Because
Be
every area is
resourceful.
different. So make sure you
Yeah.
do your homework and you get your background a little bit of what the programs offer and how they offer and what your income is and their requirement for that income. Because it's definitely a journey. It's a journey. You're on a
Mhm.
journey. It's a life journey. Don't get
It's a
scared. You can get through it.
it's a trip. I'm gonna say that. It's a journey. It's a show. It's gonna be a trip. I can say that much. Whew.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you'll be all right. And my thing is, you never stop being a parent. I don't
Yeah.
care how old your child get. You ain't never going. My kids grown up, and they become even worse when they get older. So that parent stuff is never over. It's like, oh, what they want now.
All my kids are over 20. So I tell them all the time, I'm like, you speak to me real and I'll speak to you real. Like, I'm not going to hold no bars. You don't hold no bars. But when they're younger, of course, you have to nurture them. You have to make sure that they have everything that they need. And that's why I said, I'm like, it's a journey. You'll get there eventually. I have no problem schooling them and making sure they have what they need. But it's just, that's life. That's just life. You're gonna
Ooh,
It is.
you're
Yeah.
just living life, and I mean, it's
Mhm.
gonna come with a cost. There's gonna be some great things behind it, there's gonna be some bad things, but hopefully you prep yourself and just get ahead of it instead of
get
behind it.
some get some sleep now. So I can say, get sleep now because baby, you ain't gonna
Oh,
never sleep again in
yeah.
life,
Get
ever
some
in
good
life.
sleep.
You never. And when you feel like you're gonna not have to go to sleep, that kid gonna be 18 to 25 years old and busting your room, busting your house, call your phone, aggravate you. They're never gonna stop. It's never ending. Mines are grown. It's never like they just don't.
I
Mhm.
They
agree.
beg. They beg and borrow when they're up here.
Yeah, I
But
agree.
yeah, it'll be all right.
So I do like this story. It gave me a flashback to my younger days, when I was dumb and young and trying to figure out what I was going to do with everything in my scenario and situation. Thank God I had somebody that was able to come through for me, my partner. But outside of that, then you gotta see your way through it, you know,
Yeah.
Figure it out. Yeah.
able to
Yeah.
see your way through it.
Pray for. Hope it all works out.
'Cause let me tell you, whew, whew,
That because
I've
life
been
is
paying
life.
for it. Right. I've been paying for my little 5 minutes of fun for 24 years. I'm like, okay, Lord, okay. The results of the results of my actions are they driving me completely crazy. He's like, that's what you get. I'm like, okay, could you just make it a little more easy? It's something. It is something. Oh, child, if I could drink again.
Yeah.
Whew.
So thank you guys so much for watching this story and scenario today. I wish the young lady luck. We are going to pray for you. You'll see through it. You'll get through it. It's going to be a rough, beginning. You'll got to find a babysitter and a support team. It does take a village. I do want to say that because I love plugging that.
Right.
It takes a village. It don't take a village. It takes a whole, I want to
It
say
takes an
community.
army.
A whole army.
A
Yeah,
army.
army. Yeah, it takes an army. That's a
That's
great
for
way to
true.
say it right there. Yeah, find as much support as you can. And just the programs will hopefully see you through it as well. Your part-time job, don't quit those. Just keep them maintained, of course.
Keep grinding.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
my
so
thing
you
is
can
that
stay
too,
ahead
right?
of
Like
it.
I want to go back into it, but you see how she'll have to go on private maternity leave. There's a job offer that paid maternity leave. If not, who's going to pay the bills? It's
Yeah.
going to be so much. Like,
Yeah.
good
You'll
luck.
figure it out though. Don't be afraid.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, that's just life. This is one journey, one chapter. Think about it like that. It's one chapter at a time. You execute what you can and then move forward. But we wish you the best of luck, and we'd love to know actually an update. If you could give us an update in the future, we do
Right,
like to know
right.
if your mate is actually working and if he's helping provide. Is he's equally excited about this baby? Those are great questions to ask because
Right.
hey, you got to also take your perspective and his into play, especially if you both are struggling together. You're supposed to be working united as a team, so that's the most important component there. Thank God some of us had that. Those that didn't, it's a tough journey. So keep that in mind, and we'll hopefully see you guys on the next segment and podcast. Thank you again. This is Joe, Jazz, and I'm Ty. Peace, y'all.
Bag, go get it one day, you can brag. Say that I have it, you know that I got it. No need to look all in the bag. Stunting like this, cause I work so hard. I'm the best, I only speak facts. In the store, I'm popping them tags. A limited ceiling with stag. Clout chasing for the cash grab. I don't really want it that